We have love and abundance, which we are, I won't say entitled to, because we done messed up now. But he is so gracious that he gives us love and abundance. Our problem is we looking for that love and abundance in all the wrong places, and we be all up in them hard life spaces looking for the love and abundance that's right in front of our faces. That rhymed. Y'all ain't know I was a rapper too. Bars. The soft life for saved women. We do everything differently. So, again, this is me saying, yes, soft life. Let's live softly, but let's examine how that term or that lifestyle is defined in the world and how we should be defining it for ourselves. Our topic today, I have been searching, well, not really searching, just kind of scrolling on social media, and I came across this hashtag. I'm kind of late. Apparently, it been out, but I was late on the uptake, but there's a hashtag called like hashtag soft life era, soft lifestyle. And so I looked into it a little bit to see what it was about. I started thinking about it, and I felt like it was a topic that we could talk about again from the perspective of a Bible believing woman, because as with most things that come out of the world or end up on social media, end up being a trend, I think it's worth thinking critically about it. And even if it sounds good and even if it sounds positive, making sure that we're viewing everything through the lens of scripture, everything through the lens of our faith. Because, the enemy, he be tricky. Like, he'll show you something that seemed good, right? And it looked good, and you don't examine it, and then you drinking poison. He done put the poison in a pancake. You think you having a pancake, but it's poison. Okay, so as believing women, I'm encouraging us to examine everything, to test everything, to investigate everything, even the things that look like they're good. Okay, so strain everything kind of through that prism of scripture and of our faith. So we're going to talk about this idea, or the concept of the soft life and how it is defined. What are some of the different definitions of it? Which definition seems like it falls most in line with what a believing woman should be aiming for? And we're going to get around to asking if the soft life is something that was designed into creation from the beginning, and how that design looks from, again, a faith and biblical perspective. All right, so what is the soft life? This is a definition that I got from the Urban Dictionary. I don't know how many of y'all have perused the Urban Dictionary, but I mean, it's a hoot. It is a hoot. There are all sorts of interesting examples and explanations up there. And I'm using interesting in the way that people use interesting when they don't want to say the word they actually want to say. All right, moving on. Let's see what the Urban Dictionary had to say about the soft life. Okay, so the Urban Dictionary says that the soft life is a life of ease without requiring hard work, sacrifice, and unpleasantness. It is important to understand that this social movement is less about wealth and more about fair access to a standardized, good quality of living. It highlights that we are all deserving of a life of ease and comfort. It sounds so nice, don't it? Don't it sound nice? Doesn't it sound like you just floating on a bed of pillows, like the soft life? It sounds so good. But I'm going to encourage us to dig deeper. Okay. Is it realistic? Is it attainable? Is it sustainable to feel that we are entitled to a life of ease that doesn't require hard work, that doesn't require any sacrifice, and doesn't require you to experience any unpleasantness? Is that realistic? Is that the goal? Is that even productive? I looked again on this hashtag soft life, and I found just some posts of what people were sharing of their feelings or their definitions of what the soft life is. So, and I'm going to start from the ones that I think are a little more problematic and progress to the ones that I think are more in tune with what we as women who walk in the light, we as women who glow should be sort of aspiring to. All right. So this one says, I want to just vacation 24/7, live on the beach with a drink in my hand, soft life. This one says, ladies, we deserve the soft life only. Okay. The soft life only. Vacations, plentiful date nights, gifts, surprises, love in abundance. And you know what? Listen, to a certain extent, I feel you. I believe as daughters of the king, we are deserving of love and abundance. And not only are we deserving of it, newsflash, it's available. It's given daily. Boo boo. You woke up this morning, you breathing, you in your right mind, you got your eyes, your ears, your nose, you can walk. Love and abundance served on a platter, morning by morning with every new mercy. We have love and abundance, which we are, I won't say entitled to because we done messed up now. But he is so gracious that he gives us love and abundance. Our problem is we looking for that love and abundance in all the wrong places. And we be all up in them hard life spaces looking for the love and abundance that's right in front of our faces. That rhymed. Y'all ain't know I was a rapper too. Bars. Let's see. Glenda says, I definitely believe that we can and should intentionally make room to enjoy our lives through leisure and ease, but simply existing for the sake of being self-absorbed is hedonistic. And see, Glenda, I know you see me. I know you see where I'm going with this. This is what I was saying when I started out saying, like, it seems good, but this is what the enemy is so good at. He'll take something that's good and just tweak it a little bit to where if you're not a discerning person, you don't see what could be an underlying problem in there. And I'm saying I'm all for the soft life, but I'm for the soft life in a spiritually strategic way. Okay. Um, so if the devil can convince you to just be hedonistic and just only want the pleasurable things in life and whatever is pleasurable is the soft life, that is, I think, a dangerous ground to walk on if you're not a discerning person and you can't really see. That could lead you down the road, like Linda said, to hedonism, lead you down the road to thinking that everything that's good to you is good for you. And if you got a grandma like me, she's been told you everything that's good to you, boo boo, is not good for you. So I'm just encouraging us. Again, I'm not saying we need to be just, on the railroad struggling and I'm just got to struggle. I've got to get everything out the mud. I'm not saying that. I'm saying let's just keep our eyes open, be on watch, be on guard, understand that biblically speaking, we were told that we are going to have to struggle at some point. We're going to have to strive for some things. And first and foremost, that striving and that struggle is what goes on in here. It's not us necessarily all the time striving and struggling against other people. The real fight is in here. The real fight is against our own baser desires. The real fight is against our own lower self. That's a striving. If I just decide I want the soft life, I don't want to deal with my issues of pride. I don't want to deal with my desires that I am not in a position to express in a legal and lawful way right now. I don't want to deal with, my judgment issues. I don't want to deal, that's too much friction. I can't, it's too much. I don't want to deal with it. Soft life. That's a problem. We are going to have to strive. We're going to have to do the work. We're going to have to hurt. We're going to have to feel some form of uncomfort from time to time and work through it so that we can actually get that soft life, okay? That everlasting soft life that we should be aspiring to. All right, I got a next slide, but I'm going to go. Restored Tribe says, excellent point there. Thank you. Appreciate it. I mean, let's just think critically about everything. Hey, Chavis and Dre, my brothers in the faith. Yes, yes, yes. Glenda says leads to hedonism or apathy. Yes, hedonism and apathy, which I'm going to suggest to you leads to atrophy. And we don't want none of that. Okay. So this next definition from the social medias says soft life, making decisions that leave one feeling free of stress and vibrating in their highest positive energy. This one is getting more to where I'm trying to go. This one is sounding a little better, not so, materialistic, hedonistic. So this one is moving in the right direction for me. This one is getting to where I'm trying to go for real, for real. Note to self, soft life requires hard work. This is the balance that I'm talking about. Yes, soft life, but if you're going to get that soft life, it's going to take some work. And sometimes it's going to take hard work. Next, again, we're going in the right direction. Soft life, a life of abundance, health, ease, comfort, peace, and intentional happiness, free from worldly pressure and unpleasantness. It's a lifestyle consisting of healthy choices, mutual relationships, healing, growth, and self care. And again, this adds some of the balance that I was looking for in the definition, meaning that having a soft life is sometimes going to require us to make healthy choices. And sometimes the healthy choice is a hard choice. Sometimes the healthy choice is the choice where you choose to go left when everyone else is going right, or to go right when everyone else is going left. The hard choice sometimes is signing up to do something difficult. Sometimes that is the healthy choice. So adding that balance and what it is to have a soft life is recognizing that in order to get the soft life, sometimes we're going to have to make hard and or healthy choices. There are two ends of the spectrum. There are some people who have a more like grounded quality, overall quality of life version, which I would be more gravitated to. But then you also have on the other end of the spectrum the people who are just like soft life is somehow having this life of luxury without having to work for it, which I don't really identify with that. But I will acknowledge that this soft life kind of movement is a response to what has been sort of an ongoing trope, especially for women of color, of being like, oh, I'm strong and I'm hard and I can take it and I can take a licking and keep on ticking and I'm just going to work, 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 work. And kind of this sort of millennial boss culture, like hustle, 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 grind, work hard. I'll sleep when I'm dead is another hashtag that people have out there. And, you know, grind all day, grind, never stop. I'll sleep later. It's the soft life is kind of a response or a juxtaposition to that sort of grind hustle culture. So I will say that I do think that there are some merits to it, but we have to have balance. You sort of need both. Sometimes you're gonna have to hustle. Sometimes you're gonna have to boss up. But also, we do deserve some time to have peace and some time to rest. And I'm submitting to you all that it's an ebb and flow. It's a balance. That's what's intended, and that's what's healthy. To not always be work, 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 but just as unrealistic and unhealthy is to just be like, I'm gonna just not do nothing. I'm gonna be lazy and I'm gonna expect other people to provide for me, and I shouldn't have any unpleasantness in my life. Those are two kind of polar opposites that you kind of need to have a balance in between the two. And this one, I think, kind of encapsulates what I would be thinking of as the soft life. And this woman says, my prayer lately has been that the Most High keep me soft. Do not allow the weight and pressure of this narcissistic society to harden my heart or limit my desire and willingness to show up authentically and fully. Allow me to continue letting love and light both out and in. Always, always. I love that. That just touches me right here. You know, having a prayer that God, that the Most High will not allow the hard things that we go through in life to harden us. That He will allow us as women to remain soft, to still be kind, to still be gracious, to still be compassionate and have empathy for other people. Um, I think that is a better kind of way of looking at what's being called the soft life. So let's see. Glenda says seed harvest, seed time, harvest time. Yes, the balance in everything. You got to plant, i.e., work, if you want to harvest, i.e., luxuriate in the soft life. I'm suggesting to you that soft life or having times of peace, times of rest, times of rejuvenation, replenishing, that has been ordained since the beginning of the world. The soft life, in my opinion, and we'll go through the slides, it was designed into creation by the Most High from the beginning. He recognized and designed us to have that balance of work and then rest, of seed, plant, then harvest. So I think the soft life is something that women who are women of faith should be aspiring to. I just don't necessarily think that our version or our definition of what that looks like has to be the same as everything that you see on social media. I think God established the soft life from the beginning in the Sabbath. I'm suggesting to you that God understood our need for times of ease, our need for times of pleasantness, our need for a time of no stress, of ease, of joy, of rest. And he made provision for that in creation in commanding us to engage in the soft life at least once a week on the seventh day. And so when you are observing the Sabbath, it was don't work. You walk, step away from the world, step away from buying and selling, step away from striving out there to earn your living. Rely on me. Understand that I'm the one that's going to give you the soft life. The bees, the birds, the lilies, they're not out there struggling and striving. They know how to live the soft life. They depend on me for provision. And even if you are out there striving and working, just understand that even though you're doing the work, and I'm still the one that allows you to earn a living. At the end of the day, it's still me providing for you. So I'm suggesting to you all and to us that the soft life is something that we all should be striving for. The soft life, in some way, is something that we have been commanded to engage in every week, to just take some time away, to take some time to engage in peace and quiet, in communion with our Creator, in communion with our family, away from work, away from toil, away from stress, away from frustration. But that time comes at an appointed time once a week. He ain't say you just supposed to lay up and be lazy just 24/7 in all days and all ways. That ain't what the word was. The word was you gonna work and then you gonna rest. You gonna work and then you gonna rest. So again, I think the balance is built into the biblical perspective of what is now being called the soft life. This slide I am titling Soft Life Essentials for Saved Women. Okay, so these are 4 things that I think, as daughters of the King, as women who are believers, as women who are serious about trying to live according to the will and the way of the Most High God, even though we fall, we make mistakes, we get it, we understand the rules and regulations about getting back in line after you done made a mistake. For those of us who not just out here playing games, for those of us who not just out here saying we Christian and that's about it, for those of us who not just out here saying we believe but can't nobody tell, for those of us who are serious, who have made up in our minds, I got to get myself together. I deserve more. I am a daughter of the King. I am royalty, and therefore it's time for me to start talking, walking, looking, acting like it. For us, those of y'all in the chat, y'all know who I'm talking about. For us, these are 4 things that I think we can try to work on to attain, maintain, sustain soft life in a way that is appropriate for daughters of the King. All right. Number 1, work will be required. Don't be fooled. Don't let the devil make you feel like, oh, you deserve a life where you have no discomfort. It sounds like something he would sneak up and whisper in your ear and have you all off track. Work will be required, okay? A soft life is not a slothful life. The Bible speaks multiple times about laziness and slovenliness. It's not a good look. He ain't never told you to be slothful, okay? If anyone is not willing to work, let him not eat. That's Bible. As women, and this one might be difficult, it is difficult for me because I'm, in the words of Lauryn Hill, trying really hard, to not be a hard rock when I really am a gem. I'm trying. I know my limitations. I know what I need to work on. So number 2, practice being pleasant. As women, sometimes we could be a little abrasive. Is it just me? Is it just me? Is there one? Is there another? Or is it just me? If we're going to be honest, I think many of us in the African American community might be able to relate. And I'm just saying, biblically speaking, this ain't me. Don't come for my neck. This ain't me. I'm just saying we might want to practice just taking it down a notch from time to time, relaxing, woosah, not saying every little thing that we feel is on the tip of our tongue that we just want to just slam that deuce of spades down on the table and shut somebody down by saying, sometimes we can just, let it go. you know, if the conversation needs to be had, maybe it just don't need to happen at this particular moment. These are things that I'm learning with maturity in myself. Okay. So practicing biblical femininity a little bit, I think will help us in achieving and sustaining the soft life. And if you look online, a lot of the social media also makes this overlap between femininity and the soft life. Sort of indicating that if you're going to be a hard, rabble rousing woman, you probably not going to enter into the soft life. And so I'm encouraging us to kind of, again, even when it comes to femininity, to strain that concept through the prism of the Bible. What does femininity look like biblically, as opposed to what the YouTubes is going to tell you femininity is? So, biblical femininity will help us build a soft life. Biblical femininity, in my uh, understanding and searching, is comprised of more than just being dainty. Biblical femininity is about dignity, it's about purity, and not just purity in terms of sexually pure, but just purity of mind, having pure intentions, pure thoughts about other people, having a pure heart. Um, about again quietness, like not always needing to get the last word, not always needing to say anything at all, not always just yapping and talking. Because even myself, I see women sometimes, and I'm like, "Oh, you need to hush, girl. You need to hush." And even me, I be needing to hush. See, we already on almost an hour. I probably should have hushed 10 minutes ago, but I got like two more slides, so I'm still working. Biblical femininity is also about courage. There's so many heroines of the Bible who definitely exhibited biblical femininity, but there was a courage and a strength there. Off the top of my head, I'm thinking about Abigail and Esther, women who just were dignified and just, I mean, examples of how to wield the power, the immense power that comes with being a woman and comes with femininity. So I'm not just talking about being a shrinking violet and just, oh, damsel in distress, help me. I can't, I need a man. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about biblical femininity, which is comprised of also strength and courage. And submission. I'm not gonna go into that. I got, if you join the Glow Code Collective, there's a whole teaching on submission. But yes, submission is part of being feminine as well. Submission to the Most High first. Okay. All right. Number 3, stay on the right path. If you want the soft life, you got to stay on the right path. And I'm referencing Psalm 16:11. You make known to me the path of life. In your presence there is fullness of joy. At your right hand are pleasures forevermore. To me, that sounds like a soft life. Fullness of joy, pleasures forevermore. What sounds softer than that? However, you got to be on his path. You can't be following everybody else's path. You can't be listening to these gurus online. Guru, I don't know where they got their certificate from, but okay. Um, your guru, your master, he gave you a book, and he done gave you all the rules you need to succeed in achieving a soft life. Let's just stay on that path, okay, so we can get this everlasting joy, this fullness of joy, and these pleasures forevermore. Number 4, we almost done. Keep the right company. Now, I think again, the Bible talks about this, stay out of the counsel of the ungodly, stay up and away from people that's into stuff that ain't really on our path, because you know associating with people who are not on the same path as you can have a gravitational pull. It could pull you off track. So as women, let's be discerning and be curating our surroundings and the people that we have around us, because a lot of things that make life hard, a lot of things that cause us to become hard, that harden our hearts, that make it harder for us to be soft, to be gentle, to be kind, is the experiences that we have when we allow people in our lives who should not be there. That makes us hard, and that makes a hard life. That brings drama and trauma and problems, which sounds like the hard life. And this goes into making healthy choices. So I would submit that if we want to enter into the soft life and we want to experience pleasantness and peace here and now, we can't be having drama brought on by the people that we allow in our lives, in our surroundings, in our personal spaces. Okay. So what did I put on here? It says, if it's the soft life you seek, pay attention to the company you keep. I I've been told y'all I'm supposed to be a rapper. I know it. Confirmed. MC Glow. Now you know. Okay. If it's the soft life you seek, pay attention to the company you keep. Hanging around with the wrong crowd can make life harder than need be. Next slide. Okay, this is kind of my ending conclusion. I think that there's a correlation between the soft life and the set apart life. And I want to know what y'all got to say. Okay. I think when we live differently, when we live set apart, when we live according to the righteous path, that is what ushers us into having a soft life. Because in my personal experience, anytime I have been doing something I had no business doing, that had ushered me into some hard living. And in my current profession, everybody that I see that's living the struggle bus life, I can see how they got there and how they behave and the choices that they make. Like, you are making hard life choices. You are making choices that's going to keep you struggling. You are making choices that are just going to keep you living a hard life. And those choices that you are making that are going to keep you living a hard life are in the book stuff that say you ain't supposed to be doing it. And it kind of told you was going to end up living a hard life if you do it. So my conclusion is the set apart life is what leads us to the soft life. That's it. I love you guys. As we always say here before we head out, I want you all to know the code, live the code, light the world. You guys have a great week. I'll see you next time. Mwah. Peace.